Who is Sunny? Sunny is the main protagonist of Omori. He's a character that I didn't find all that interesting the first time I saw him. In fact, I thought he was going to be boring and bland, to fill a space for the player to simply set themselves into the game. A placeholder. I couldn't have been more wrong. In fact, the more and more that I dive into this game and dig into the depths and waves of information, the more I realize that Sunny has to be one of the most intricate and thought out characters I have ever encountered. Sunny's story is tragic and absolutely heart-wrenching as you unveil more and more of it. It is something that you don't tend to expect when looking at his seemingly emotionless expression. Sunny is one of the most powerful examples of a phenomenal protagonist, and I am going to prove to you why. Throughout the plot of Omori, we begin to learn more and more about the world as a whole, and how things aren't as they originally seem. For example, we learn fairly early on that Omori is a different entity, or at least a different version of Sunny, who does not perceive the world in the same manner that Sunny seems to. We first realize something is off when Basil originally disappears, and we are introduced to the fact that the real world exists in this game, and that the place that we are put into is actually a dream of sorts, a place that we are able to put together that is an escape for Sunny, even though we are not entirely sure why or what he is trying to escape from. We also become aware of the fact that Sunny is moving away soon, and that his house is seemingly void of people. Something that is a little interesting to me, and it's a little off topic here, is the fact that in the headspace, Aubrey and the others often refer to Omori not liking being alone. Although Omori and Sunny are technically different things, they are still connected to each other. One cannot exist without embodying something of the other. Which is why I find it interesting that all these events happen when he's home alone. The fact is that all of the manifestations and hallucinations happen when he's alone at home. They don't happen nearly as much when Sunny is out with his friends. This begins to raise the question of why these are manifesting to Sunny and what could possibly cause such images. And then, at least for me, it began to set in. The fact that Marie was strangely missing from the equation, and how you soon learn that Marie supposedly took her own life. Although that's not the whole truth, as we eventually learn that Sunny was the one who took Marie's life. He didn't mean to, of course, and the guilt of doing so and of seeing his own sister limp at the bottom of the stairs, it's something that he's never been able to recover from. The next fact is that his friend saw it happen. His friend was so afraid of what would happen next that the two of them ended up faking her suicide. Because it's just easier to lie, right? Easier to simply let things get swept under the rug, to be forgotten. It was an accident after all. But what would they think of him? What would they do when they found out what Sunny did to his sister? They all loved Marie so much, and he killed her. They would never forgive him. It would be just easier to lie. This is where everything began to more or less swell into the realm of no longer being containable. Instead of getting help and having his friends be there for him, he shut himself away from the others and decided to run away from what he did. To escape to his headspace. To escape to his headspace. Because he's safe in his own mind. Right? Well, despite Omori being the one he embodies in the headspace, and the fact that this place is an escape, his thoughts and guilt still leak into that space. Because even when you hide something away and try to forget it, it still lies in your subconscious. It will always be there, waiting for you to let your guard down, gnawing away at your thoughts and emotions as you try and push them down. But it always comes back. Which is what we see if we play a route where Sunny doesn't tell the truth and moves away. Something follows him as he moves away. He continues to have to live with that guilt and that burden as he makes his way to his new home. And no one will ever know. Another interesting idea that the game plays with is the idea of fears. The fact that fears are the ones that can hold you back from progressing in life, and how you have to be able to overcome them to be able to move on. Sunny is so afraid of the future and what he's done that he allows this fear to paralyze him from moving forward in life. In fact, Marie says this herself. At least her spirit does. Sunny has many fears that he has to overcome, or at least Omori has to overcome throughout his journey within the headspace. Each section being not accessible until Omori is able to overcome these fears. Marie says that Omori has overcome all fears but one. Omori is about overcoming fear. And Sunny is afraid of the truth of the situation of what is happening and what he did. He's afraid to tell the truth to his friends. He's afraid to accept the fact that what happened, happened, and that it cannot be changed. He's afraid that if he continues living, that he is betraying his sister. He killed his own sister. He is afraid of himself. The only way the game allows you to have a happy ending is if you take action to be able to at least have Sunny be able to live with the fact that he did in fact kill his sister. But that doesn't mean he doesn't deserve to live. An interesting concept to me is the fact that Omori and Sunny are considered to be different entities, at least to some degree. Omori is a version of Sunny that has cast away his past and all blame to himself, the truth being locked up inside of him as he dissociates himself from his real life and friends, and instead traps himself in this world where everything is safe. Everything is safe from the consequences of his choices, and free from the guilt that will forever build up within Sunny. I do not believe that Omori is Sunny, but I also do not believe that he isn't Sunny. He is simply a different version of Sunny who exists on another plane. A version of Sunny that denies the truth and continues to hide from it. A version of Sunny who is running away from what he needs to address to move forward in the future. The most important part of Sunny's character to me is how it shows that even though not everything can be changed, and that you can't redo the past and have to live with what you choose to do, it also shows that you get the chance to choose. It's the simple choice of whether you open the door for Kel or not that determines the fate of this game. You have the choice to determine how you will move forward in life, and how you let your past choices affect you. If you let them control you and never allow yourself to overcome them, you will become a shallow husk of who you used to be, desensitized to the world around you and denying yourself from fully living and being able to move on. But if you allow yourself to move forward and bring yourself to be able to be forgiven, then you give yourself a second chance, a chance to move forward and to mold your own future. That's a choice not everyone gets to make. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's my final video on the characters of Omori. However, I do plan on making a very, very large video of Omori about the game itself and how I feel about it. Although that may seem a little obvious because I just did a bunch of character analysis on it. But with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please, 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 please remember to like and subscribe. And you all have a wonderful, wonderful night. I will see you all later.